राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना 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 यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना 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 यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना तीरवनचारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपद परमहंस प्रऋषिकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्री श्रीमद् श्रील अभय चरणानंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नाम आचार्य श्रील ठाकुर हरिदास की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौड़ भक्तवृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय गंगा देवी की जय वनामयी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय तुलसी रानी की जय समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय इस्कॉन बीबीथी संस्थापक आचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गौ प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga Jai Shri Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtapraishu Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishne Swadhamopagate Dharmajnanadibhisaha Kalaunashtatrishamisha Puranarko Dhunodita. This is Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, entitled Lord Krishna Fights with Banasura, Chapter 63, and today we'll study text number 37. So please repeat after me. Tava avatāraḥ ayam akuṇṭha-dhāman dharmasya guptyai jagato hitāya vayaṁ cha sarve bhavatā anubhāvitā vibhāvayāmaḥ bhuvanāni sapta tavāvatāro ऽyamak-akuṇṭha-dhāman tavāvatāro ऽyamak-akuṇṭha-dhāman dharmasya guptyai jagato hitāya dharmasya guptyai jagato hitāya vayaṁ cha sarve bhavatānubhāvitā vayaṁ cha sarve bhavatānubhāvitā vibhāvayāmo bhuvanāni sapta vibhāvayāmo bhuvanāni sapta tavāvatāro ऽyamak-akuṇṭha-dhāman dharmasya guptyai jagato hitāya vayaṁ cha sarve bhavatānubhāvitā vibhāvayāmo bhuvanāni sapta tavāvatāro ऽyamak-akuṇṭha-dhāman dharmasya guptyai jagato hitāya vayaṁ cha sarve bhavatānubhāvitā vibhāvayāmo bhuvanāni tavāvatāro ऽyamak-akuṇṭha-dhāman dharmasya guptyai jagato hitāya vayaṁ cha sarve bhavatānubhāvitā vibhāvayāmo bhuvanāni sapta
tavāvatāro ऽyamak-akuṇṭha-dhāman
tavāvatāro ऽyamak-akuṇṭha-dhāman dharmasya guptyai jagato hitāya vayaṁ cha sarve bhavatānubhāvitā vibhāvayāmo bhuvanāni sapta ऽयमक-akuṇṭha-dhāman
dharmasya guptyai jagato hitāya vayaṁ cha sarve bhavatānubhāvitā vibhāvayāmo bhuvanāni sapta
your avatāraḥ descent, ayam this, akuṇṭha unrestricted, dhāman O you whose power, dharmasya of justice, guptyai for the protection, jagatāḥ of the universe, hitāya for the benefit, vayaṁ we, cha also, sarve all, bhavatā by you, anubhāvitāḥ enlightened and authorized, vibhāvayāmaḥ we manifest and develop, bhuvanāni the worlds, sapta 7. Translation and commentary by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder and Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Your current descent into the material realm, O Lord of unrestricted power, is meant for upholding the principles of justice and benefiting the entire universe. We demigods, each depending on your grace and authority, develop the 7 planetary systems. Please repeat. Your current descent into the material realm, O Lord of unrestricted power, is meant for upholding the principles of justice and benefiting the entire universe. We demigods, each depending on your grace and authority, develop the 7 planetary systems. Report. As Lord Shiva glorifies Lord Krishna, doubt may arise, since apparently Lord Krishna is standing before Lord Shiva as a historical personality with a human-like body. However, it is out of the Lord's causeless mercy that He appears to us in a form visible to our mundane eyes. If we want to understand the absolute truth, Sri Krishna, we must hear from recognized authorities in Krishna consciousness, such as Lord Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita, or from Lord Shiva, a recognized Vaishnava authority who here glorifies the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Uttaparakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Madgavirapi Gopala Swikuryat Kripaya Yadi Tadaiva Sampayah Pitva Rishyayustad Priyajanaha. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur prays, my dear Lord Gopal, only if you accept my words as your cows will they produce sweet milk to give pleasure to your pure devotees. So similarly, I'm humbly requesting all of you, especially seniors present here, please bless me that I may say something of worth to anyone about this very deep topic, Srimad Bhagavatam. So traditionally, when we look at Sanskrit verses in the Bhagavatam, and particularly in the commentaries on the Srimad Bhagavatam, an anvaya is given. That is a core sentence structure just to make it clear what's being said here. So the anvaya here is, Hey akuṇṭha-dhāman, ayam tava avatāraḥ dharmasya guptyai khala nigrahaya cha bhavatā anubhāvitāḥ vayaṁ sarve sapta bhuvanāni vibhāvayāmaḥ. That means, O dear Lord of unrestricted prowess or power, this avatar of yours is meant for the protection of dharma and for the suppressing of the rascals. And only by your inspiration, empowerment, authorization, are all of us able to develop and maintain these 7 worlds. This is Lord Shiva speaking on behalf of all of the demigods, but he might as well be speaking on behalf of all of us, because none of us can do anything. Prata prabodhito Vishno Hrishikeshena yatvaya yad yad karyasi shana tat karomi tavāgnaya. Anybody know this verse? Not likely. It's an obscure verse from the Dharma Shastra, but we're enjoined every day. As soon as we get out of bed, what's the first thing we do? Huh? You're all pious, that's why you know this. But most of the world's population doesn't realize that you don't just brush your teeth. You're putting your foot on the ground first thing in the morning, every day. Are you conscious of that? She's called Dharati because she bears everything like that. First thing you do, imagine, Dharmatma, if I came to class and put my foot on your head first thing, how would you? I mean, it's outrageous, really. But this is what we do without a second thought. And everything we do without a second thought tends to be sinful because it's Kali Yuga. There's a big uproar now in Kolkata. Everybody know what I'm talking about? It's in the news for weeks, it seems. One young doctor, again, just like happened a few years ago in Delhi, again, they just, monstrous crimes they committed. And they get away with it. Somehow, anyway, we'll see what happens. But our default mode in this yuga is sinful activity. We can't even think of anything pious. Because the whole culture has been developed. Sense gratification. That's the goal in life. If it feels good, do it. This is the attitude. So, anyway, I don't want to get too far afield here, but what were we saying? That we offer obeisances unto the earth. But what is it said? My dear Lord Hrishikesh, I've been awakened by you. And whatever you order me, that's what I'm going to do today. Similarly, what is that? Samudravasane Devi, Parvatastana Mandale, Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam Parasparshakshamasame. You're praying to the Lord's eternal consort. Bhumi Devi is one of the Lord's eternal consorts, no? Shri Bhu Nila, in the Sri Vaishnava theology, they have this concept. Sometimes there are different categories of consorts, but Bhu is definitely one of them by estimation. So, this is the first thing. What is the point that we're making? That the Lord is appearing here in this world again and again and again, just like we're appearing in this world again and again and again. And it's too easy for us, because of the same consciousness that I've already described, it's too easy for us to take a look at Krishna and just think, okay, here's a marble statue they decorate every day. Or it's too easy for us to look at the Vaishnavas and think, yeah, this is one of the guys. Or whatever, you know. But it's not like that. Especially those of us who are here in Vrindavan, we can't even estimate our good fortune. The kind of good fortune that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is conscious of when he prays, what is that verse? Every day he prays, I pray in the morning that, dear Vrindavan Dham, please sustain me here somehow or other by your mercy. It's not just automatic that we're here in Vrindavan. Here in Vrindavan Dham, where the people have natural love of Godhead, here in Vrindavan Dham, where Srimati Radharani is eternally established as the unquestioned authority in all affairs of love. This Vrindavan Dham, he says, Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasaha. May that Vrindavan, may only that Vrindavan be my eternal residence. All right, so let's count our blessings. This is the point. And from time to time, Krishna comes again and again, just to remind us who we are. Hey, you're human beings. Are you acting like one? Are you thinking like one and speaking like one? How long do you have left? What have you accomplished so far? This is the idea. So we know from Bhagavad Gita, everybody knows the verse, even if they don't think of it very much. Yada yada hi dharmasya ityadi. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? Krishna comes for two reasons, and they're stated here in this verse also. Dharmasya guptyai, the ek, or jagato hita. He comes for it's like we have this jagadhitaya krishnaya govindaya namo nama from Vishnu Purana. Namo brahmani devaya go brahmani hitaya cha. Jagadhitaya krishnaya govindaya namo nama. This is why the Lord comes. He wants to protect religion. Now, let's first of all, before we go too far, let's take a look at some of this vocabulary here, because there are some very interesting word constructions here. First of all, we have the Lord is being described as akuṇṭha-dhāman. akuṇṭha-dhāman. Well, what does that mean? akuṇṭha-dhāman. Kuṇṭha? Kuṇṭha ka matlab kya hai? Huh? Yeah, a restriction. Kuṇṭha. We'd say Vaikuṇṭha because you're not restricted in that world. Here we're restricted. In Vaikuṇṭha you're not restricted. In Vaikuṇṭha there's no need of restriction. Law is necessary where people aren't well behaved. Isn't it? When everyone is a rascal, that's why we have a CCTV cam installed every 10 feet. Because everybody's ripping off everything. I saw on the train once, took a train from Hyderabad to Sholapur or something. There was a niche in the wall of the train that was meant for the speaker system, but the speaker was missing. And then I looked around, every single speaker was missing. So I asked who I was traveling with, why, what is this, the speakers are all gone? No, they take them out on purpose because it's understood that everybody's going to rip them off otherwise. Anyway, so akuṇṭha-dhāman, that abode is not restricted. Kuṇṭha, actually kuṇṭha in the dictionary means dull, blunt, lazy, slow, retarded even. Stupid also. This is what kuṇṭha actually means. But it also means, if it's akuṇṭha, means unrestricted. Because just like in the West, among the politicians at least, they say a person is physically challenged. That's a kind of a polite way, a paraphrastic way of saying that you're retarded, or you're a lame person, or something. So that's why kuṇṭha means restriction. You have a shortcoming, you have some inadequacy. That is the nature of this world. But Krishna is coming from the place where there is no such restriction. That place can also be called akuṇṭha-dhāma or Vaikuṇṭha-dhāma. And Dhamma itself also, what does Dhamma mean? Dhamma. We know Dhamma as a residence or an abode. Actually, Dhamma actually means also a light, some majesty, some glory, power, a ray, illumination of some sort. And Krishna says this also in Bhagavad Gita. There's no need of illumination there. Right? So akuṇṭha-dhāman, that is Vaikuṇṭha, and Vaikuṇṭha is also a name of Krishna, and akuṇṭha-dhāma is also a name of Krishna. So Lord Shiva, being extremely Krishna conscious and very learned also, he's addressing Krishna with this very specific term, akuṇṭha-dhāma, and the sense, according to the commentators, of unrestricted power. Unrestricted power. We'll try to say something about that in a moment. And dharmasya guptyai. Gupta. What does Gupta mean? Yeah, just like you go to, say, what is it? I think Shyamsundar temple. You see the hundi. Gupta-dan. You have to keep it Gupta, right? You don't want anybody to know what you're giving, or whatever you're giving, you have to keep it protected because it's understood. There's a CCTV cam every 10 feet. So, Gupta, dharmasya guptyai, for the purpose of hiding religion. Is that why he comes? Does that make sense? No. So Gupta also means gup. Dhatu is gup in Sanskrit, means to guard something, to protect something, thereby to preserve something also. You won't lose it if it's kept Gupta. To hide or conceal, that we know. So, dharmasya guptyai, to protect dharma, to preserve dharma, to keep it safely. I was thinking this morning, because I chanted Gayatri Mantra a little bit late, we're advised by persons like Chanakya Pandit, be careful, do not neglect your Gayatri Mantra, is the root of the tree of your dharma. You have to think about this. So you have to keep it very carefully. Palana, the word is used here in the commentaries as well. These vibhāvayāmaḥ means that, these lokas are protected, also developed and maintained by the demigods. Okay, so bhavatā anubhāvitāḥ. We, Lord Shiva speaking on behalf of the demigods, we are anubhāvitāḥ. That means enlightened and authorized in this translation. Anubhav means to be made to know something, just like anubhav. What does anubhav? It's swanubhava, personal experience. You know what you've experienced, you know that. I hope. Unless you're kunta. So, anubhav means to be made to experience something. We may not have the capacity to experience something, like I said in the beginning. If you wake up in the morning, who's to blame for that? Who gets the credit for that? Not you. Krishna. Why Krishna? Hrishikeshena yatvaya. I've been awakened by you because you're the ones who control my senses. You're the one who controls my senses. Hrishika Isha, the Lord of these senses. So, anubhāvitā, we have been made to understand what to do and how to do it, and we have been empowered. Also, we've been established, we've been ascertained, we've been dignified by your order. This is the idea only. And vibhāvayāmaḥ, vibhāvaya, it's a causative verb, means to cause something to happen, to make something develop or arise or manifest. This is how the demigods are working here. It's kind of interesting because we have two similar words in Rupa Goswami's rasa theory, no? Anubhava and vibhava. They're the same root. So, to experience something subjectively and then to manifest the symptom of that experience. These things are there. Okay, so this is just a little preliminary word, some definitions maybe. We've already gone through the Anvaya. Sridhar Swami, nanu tatvatah pradeshika sharirasya katham nabho nabhitvariti ataha taveti. In this verse he speaks Because you may recall yesterday, we had very cosmic picture of the Lord, right? What does he say? You spoke on this, no? That the sky is your navel, the fire your face. You picturing this now? Hey, you. Yes, pay attention. This is important. The sky is your navel, fire is your face, water your semen, the heaven is your head, cardinal directions are your sense of hearing, plants are the hairs on your body, water-bearing clouds are the hair on your head. The earth is your foot, the moon is your mind, the sun is your vision. I am your ego, Lord Shiva speaking. Ocean is your abdomen, Indra your... How are you going to deal with a person like this? This is the practical question that Sridhar Swami raises here. So this is why he's raising this discussion. So I'll just translate. He says one might raise a doubt that how is that body that's indicated in the previous verse, how is it that this person standing in front of me is, his sky is fire, what is it? His face is fire and his mind is, religion, and it's very abstract. So that's why he addresses him in this way. Pradeshika shirirasya katham nabho nabhitwaditi ataha. How am I to understand this? Akuṇṭha-dhāman, you're not restricted. You can do this. This is Krishna's unique qualification. And then he says, how does he gloss akuṇṭha-dhāman? We've discussed it already. He says, apratyuta swarupa. Your actual form is not fallible. Under any circumstances, you never ever fail. It's kind of like Tamal Krishna Goswami. He was like that. He could not tolerate failure of any sort. So anyway, apratyuta swarupa. And it's here for bhavaya. Sridhar Swami says that means abhyudayaya, for the benefit of the world. Na kevalam etavat kintu asmad anugrahartam api ityaha. He says vayam cha, because he wants to indicate it's not just meant for the protection of the world at large, it's for us as well. This is going to be developed by other commentaries, so we'll let it sit for a moment. But sarve lokapalas tvaya palitaha. All of us who are protectors of the earth and other such planets, we're all protected by you. Saptapi bhuvanāni palayama. And we maintain all the 7 worlds because we're maintained by you. What are those 7 worlds? 7 planetary systems. It's kind of confusing, isn't it? Are we aware? Huh? That's one way to look at it. We have... Yeah, there are 7 dvipas, but that's not exactly the same thing as 7 bhuvanas. Here it's very clearly stated. We have 7 bhuvanas. So, in the, I believe it's Atharva Veda, there's a verse, Atalam sutalam chaiva vitalam cha gabhastimat mahatalam rasatalam cha patalam saptamam smritam. The 7 worlds. Atala sutala vitala mahatala rasatala patalam gabhastimat. Or, there's another classification, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Svarloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. These are also 7. And Bhuloka is the earth that we're familiar with. The atmosphere of the earth, that's called Bhuvarloka, before you get to the sun. The inner atmosphere, where the devas play. Deva, what does deva mean? Divyati. Yes, they play. The devas play in the sky. Gagana Vihari. So, this is Bhuvarloka. Svarloka means outer space, where not even devas can go there. You have to be really advanced. Maharloka is where sages who survive partial devastation go. Janaloka is where Sanakadi rishis go. Tapaloka is where the siddhas reside. And Satyaloka, who resides in Satyaloka? Brahma. He's in charge of all this stuff. Everything he knows. Brahma. So these are the 7 worlds, and these demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, they're maintaining these 7 worlds because they're empowered by Krishna, because they're given prerogative by Krishna. That's the significance here of Sridhar Swami's commentary. Now sometimes we hear there are 2 worlds, right? Ihaloka, paratra. Paraloka, ihaloka. 2 worlds. Sometimes we hear of 3 worlds, right? Upper, lower, middle. And here we have 7, and then sometimes we hear 14. Chauda bhuvana. So there are different systems. All right, so Vamshidhara, he is Sridhar Swami's commentator. He explains a little bit that why does he raise it out? Because in the 2nd canto we've heard, Kechit swate hantara hridayavakashe pradesha matram purusham vasantam. How big is the Lord described in the 2nd canto? Yeah, the size of a thumb. So how is it that face is fire and the sky is your everything, and this is the idea. So one would have a natural doubt. So the word pradeshikam, he says, refers to the body measured or indicated, pradesha matram, pradesha mitam. Or another way to look at it is pradeshika means whatever space he occupies, that is his space. So that's the idea here. Vision of even the invisible supreme Brahman, which we've heard about already, or the Virat Rupa, some commentators say, which you heard about yesterday. This is only, we can perceive this by Krishna's mercy, or another way to see it is that only by mercy does Krishna manifest himself in a form that we can see. We mentioned the deity early on in the class, right? To us, the deity looks like marble because we have bhuloka vision only. We see this, basically bhuloka vision means the animals also have that. It's automatic. By default, we all see like animals. But by knowledge, we can understand that although it looks like marble, although it behaves with the same properties as marble, but when we invoke Krishna's mercy, when the pure devotee, I should say, invokes Krishna's mercy to be present as the deity in this world for our benefit, then we can see if we have pure devotion. We have to surrender. Then he talks to us. Then he accepts what we offer. He can do anything. We know so many stories are there. Chaitanya Charitamrita and others. Therefore, he's akuṇṭha-dhāman. His powers are not restricted. Prabhupada many times says, what is that? Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti. Anything. He can see with his ears. He can touch with his eyes. He can taste with his fingertips only. Anything he can do with any part of his body. This is akuṇṭha-dhāman. So, now another way to see it is akuṇṭha-dhāman, you're the abode of non-restriction because nobody by their mundane arguments can restrict you. You can't put your finger on him and actually know him in full. It's only when he reveals himself, swayam eva spurati, then you can know him. But you can't control him. This is the idea. So he cannot be restricted by arguments. Kunti kartum ashakya. So, and what does this dharmasya? Dharmasya guptyai, we were saying he comes to protect dharma. What kind of dharma does he come to protect? Bhagavata dharma, especially. Every kind of dharma, that is a fact. It's not that the others are negligible. But particularly, it's understood that bhakti lakshanasya dharma. Tvad bhakti lakshanasya dharma. This is all what we're hearing from Vamshidhara, who is largely paraphrasing Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. All right, because he was a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Said to have resided in Kurukshetra maybe 200-300 years ago, if I recall correctly. All right, so the point is that the demigods feel that we become qualified by being your servants, especially now we have your mercy. Descending from Vaikuntha, you protect bhakti for the benefit of all jivas in this life. You can do this because you're directly Bhagavan. Recognized by you, we can do anything in this world. This is what they're saying. Now, Jiva Goswami says, but you're... Yeah, Krishna is asking, but wait a minute, aren't you the protectors of the worlds? Why are you saying this about me? And they said, this is the significance, according to him, of vayaṁ, us too. No, we devatas, beginning with Brahma, we depend on him and are inspired only by him. Independently, we can't protect these 7 planetary systems. So Jiva Goswami makes the whole thing explicit here. He says, how can I, limited with this body, have the sky as my navel? We say lotus navel. So how is he a sky navel and lotus navel at the same time? It's not conceivable. Actually, the meaning of the previous verse is that because the Lord is the controller of each limb, he is associated, and the elements and objects associated with those limbs. So his form is infallible over all time and space, and by his inconceivable Shakti, he can appear to us in the form of a small deity this big, that we can comfortably worship and take care of and feed and place in a nice bed and try to do some seva for. This is the Lord. This is his great glory, his great mercy, actually. But he's actually infallible. So, akuṇṭha-dhāman also means, according to Sanatana Goswami, that the Lord is Sri Golokadi Nityasthana, ever present in Sri Goloka, and yet he comes here to protect bhakti especially, and jagatāḥ sarve jīvānaṁ eva bhavāya lokadvayashreyase ato vayaṁ cheti visheshena tvad bhakti vistarinādina purvata adhikyena bhavayaṁ. He comes to protect all the jivas. All the jivas. This kind of resonates with what Prahlad prays in the 5th canto, that, what is that? Swastirastu vishvasya. If you pray for the empowerment of the 3 worlds, the whole universe, what happens? Well, there's all kinds of beings in this world, isn't it? Some people you definitely don't want to empower in this world, isn't it? Some people, there are people in this world, you don't even want to open your door when they knock. So what about that? Khala prasidatam. Therefore, he says, may the rascals be pacified somehow. How are they going to be pacified? How do you ever pacify a rascal? You give him milk and bananas, it makes his poison worse, no? We call these toxic people. We have to deal with toxic people sometimes. No matter what you do for them, or no matter how carefully you treat them, somehow they take it the wrong way, and it's so difficult. This is what happens from over sinful activity. You become a toxic person. Just hardcore, covered with maya. Very difficult. Prabhupada said it was like trying to clean a piece of charcoal, hoping to find a diamond inside. No matter how hard you scrub it, it's just still black. Infinite time you can spend trying to clean such a heart. And yet that's what we're instructed to do, because who else is going to do it? All right. Anyway, so this is the idea that he says, you're coming here and you're protecting everyone, it's a fact, but you're especially meant to come and protect your devotees. This is the point. Okay. I think that's about it. Srinath Chakravarti Thakur also chimes in here. He says, he's the one who says that previous verses describe the Virat Swarupa. Yeah. But here, tavāvatāro ayam, in this verse, today's verse, iti vadan Sri Krishnasya paramaishwaryam pradarshayati. He's showing Krishna's real mercy, that he manifests in this 2-handed form, medium-sized form, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, just to come and reciprocate with us in this world, because we can't perceive him in his Virat Rupa, and even in his Brahmajyoti as well. Some of the acharyas are commenting like that. So, otherwise the meaning is the same. All right, I'm going to stop here, but if anybody has any other questions or any comments on this? Yes. Prataha prabodhito Vishnu. My dear Lord Vishnu, I've been awakened. Hrishikeshena yatvaya, by you. Yad yad karyasi, whatever you impel me to do, tat karomi tavāvatāro. By your order, I will do that. So this is the spirit in which these devatas are speaking. They are very conscious that we can't do any of this stuff. Like Brahma, he didn't want to become puffed up when he had to create this universe. So he was praying. He's conscious like that. So devotees are thinking like that. Whatever, what is that verse in Brahma Samhita? Whatever abilities they have, whatever assets they have, it's all coming from him only. You know what I'm thinking of? I can't remember just now. Mental fog. But anyway, so. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, Panchgoda Prabhu.
What she was saying, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even the Shiva was fighting and killing and everything.
Yeah.
That's where they glorify the Supreme Lord, the Master of everything, and he's like, the Supreme. It seems kind of strange. And someone, the people who are fighting want to fight against and glorify it.
This is why it's very carefully pointed out here that we have to hear these things from the right source, from a pure devotee. If you hear it from a scholar, he's going to miss it also. He won't get it. Only way you can understand this stuff is by practicing bhakti. That's the only way. If you're not practicing bhakti, you do not get the realizations necessary to actually understand the deeper import. You have to be a devotee. Then you can follow everything that's going on. So yes, it is bewildering. Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna are both fighting each other. One might see that there's some real animosity there, but there isn't. They're on the same page. They're trying to establish the same dharma, both of them. So what is the deal? Lord Shiva is in a quandary. Here's my devotee. He's such a nonsense that I give him 1,000 arms, and he wants to fight me with them. But if I cut off all his arms, then my brand value will go down, as they say. So, he can't do it himself. He has to, they have to cooperatively arrange this thing. And at the same time, Lord Shiva is also very interested. I want to do this in such a way, I want to chastise this puffed up demon, such that Krishna is understood as the supreme authority. So he has to make it look like there's a real fight, and of course Shiva has to lose the fight, and Shiva is as happy to lose that fight as Bhishma Dev was happy to lose his fight. See? So this is how it works. But we only know this from the devotees. Nobody else will have that insight because they're inexperienced in bhakti. Is that okay? Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I just want to understand. Hare Krishna.
Yes. That's better.
Am I audible?
Now I can hear you.
Yes. Prabhuji, and wonderful. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, I just want to understand one thing that I've been also attending certain seminars which describes about planets, big planetary systems. But one confusion that I'm having is that the Golokdham means the Golok and Krishnalok is the same. So is it true in this context, or is it something that is to be understood that way, or I would like clarification?
I'm not sure exactly what your question is. It sounds like you're asking, is it true that Golokdham and Krishna Loka are the same thing?
Yeah, I wanted to understand.
Okay, yeah. No, Krishna is very humble. That's why he calls his own planet Krishna Loka as Goloka instead. He wants to give all credit to the cows. But they're the same thing. He loves his devotees. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, right? He has nothing to do, so what does he do all day long? What does God do all day long? He just reciprocates with his devotees. And amongst those devotees, the cows are very dear. That's why we have to think about this carefully. Because I've noticed over the last decade or so, the first they took away their troughs, then, naturally there's no water to drink, so where are they going to come? All the motorcycle parking lot has filled it up. They're not coming anymore. Gokula and Goloka. That's why Krishna emphasizes the importance of these creatures, because they're very dear to him. And we, with our puffed up, exploitive mentality, we're the first ones to push the cows out of the picture. Is that okay? Yes. I cannot hear you.
And it reminds me of the story of āyam sarvasya and the same quality is Lord Krishna. Seeing the same quality, speaking loud. And it's because of that gratitude, I'm saying that I'm able to see, I'm seeing that how Lord Shiva is expressing gratitude to Lord Krishna.
Yes.
On the behalf of all the universe.
Yes.
And this very much links how a person who has pure bhakti is always full of gratitude towards Krishna.
Is always?
Full of gratitude towards Krishna.
Yes.
And this is reminding me of the sloka āyam sarvasya prabhu. The devotee is always seeing everything is being done by Krishna. And that's why this feel of bhava is.
I'm not sure I'm getting what you're asking, sorry.
I'm not asking this reflection what I got from Krishna.
You're just appreciating that Lord Shiva is very...
Lord Shiva's gratitude always very powerful.
Yes. Yes.
Now is expressing gratitude.
He's humble. He's humble, that's what he is. And that also is an example meant for us to follow. You know, unless the demigods give us this example, how are we going to get the idea of what it means practically in application to accept fully that Trinadapi Sunichena Turodavasishnana Amanina Manadena. Here he's Manada. This is what your point is, I think. He's appreciating. So, Purvaihi Purvataram Kratam, as the predecessors have done, or as our leaders have done, great demigods like Lord Shiva, we should also do like that. Okay, anything else? Nahito, we'll stop here. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.